Hello, welcome back. This is chapter 11 from the class 9 CBSE NCERT book, Work and Energy. This is the first part in that series, and my name is Avantika, and I'm going to teach you this topic. As usual, as I keep saying, please keep your books open so that you know what is going on, and only watching the video is not enough. So you must know what is going on, and therefore you must have the book open and keep not jotting down points. So we have talked about force, we have talked about motion. Now we will talk about something called work and energy. These are related terms, right? But all of these are related terms. Even force is related, work is related, energy is related. These are all interrelated topics. Now, these are concepts that will help explain many other phenomena. Like, of course, like force helped explain a lot of phenomena, acceleration, velocity. Then you have work that will help you explain in work, energy, power. These are other important basic concepts that are required to explain day-to-day phenomena and to explain how the world works. Okay. So, as we all know that all living things need food and they perform basic activities to survive. These activities are called life processes, right? What are life processes? Breathing, eating, uh, normal, whatever your body does normally, digestion, thinking, these are all life processes. Okay? And then there are some other processes. You play, you sing, you read, you write, think, jump, cycling, running. These are all things that require energy. And this energy comes from food that you eat, right? So all strenuous activity or even the simple activities, even something like sleeping requires energy, right? It's not as if you need energy just to do something very strenuous. Even the fact that I'm just sitting here talking to you means I'm expending some sort of energy. Okay, even machines need energy. Where do they get this energy from? Fuels, or if they're solar powered, like some of them are solar powered, so or from fuel cells, right? Battery operated. These are all that is chemical energy. So all of these machines also require energy, right? Like I said, cars receive energy from fuel such as petrol, diesel. They used to be coal initially to run trains. Then airplanes require a certain different kind of aviation fuel, that is a different grade of fuel. So all of these things require some sort of fuel, and the fuel for us is food. That gives us energy in some or the other form. Generally, it is chemical energy, of course, and uh, then that can be converted into different forms of energy. Okay, so what is work? Now we constantly talk about working. I am working so hard, oh my god, I studied so much, and I have done a lot of work, right? But there is a difference in the term work as we use in our day-to-day life and as we use in science. Okay, so if you have exams, it's like I worked so hard, I studied so hard, I've done so much work. But in science, that is not really work, right? You may draw diagrams, you have to complete your journals, or if you have to complete your lab practical books, you organize your thoughts कि नहीं I have to do this, मुझे ऐसे करना है, मुझे वैसे करना है, इसके बाद ऐसे करना है. You have to collect question papers, right? You have to attend classes, discuss problems with your friends and teachers. You have to perform experiments if you go to school or if you go to college, right? So all of these things, when you do all of these things in a day, you are like, I'm so tired, I did so much work today, right? But this is the common way of talking about work. You may talk about going to work and अरे मैंने बहुत काम किया आज बाप रे, but that is not what science doesn't care about that. What happens is, so for example, take this example. If you push a rock very hard, it's a big rock and you're pushing it really hard, it probably still won't move, right? Because it's very heavy and the force that you're exerting is not enough to give it, to make it overcome inertia. Remember inertia? Or to give it some amount of momentum, it is not enough, right? But you are exerting some force. You are expending your energy. बहुत energy डाल रहे हो. But there is no displacement of the rock. The rock didn't move at all. That means that there is no work done according to science. You have spent a lot of energy, but you have not done any work, right? Or if you're standing still with the heavy load on your head, if you take something and you stand like this, you get tired, you spend a lot of energy, but you have not done any work according to science, right? You would say, I have been working so hard pushing that rock. That rock didn't move, that is not my problem, but I was doing work on it. But that is not work according to science, right? Even if you stand with such a heavy load, it's not work according to science. But when you're climbing stairs or you're climbing a tree, you end up doing some work, right? You will see what the difference is in these two. What do you think is the difference in this and this? Here you're moving and you're going some distance, right? That is when you end up doing work. So in day-to-day life, any useful mental or physical labor is considered work, but it may not be considered work scientifically. Okay? So what is the scientific concept of work? So there are some examples. If you push a pebble, right? We talked about pushing a rock, right? A rock probably won't move with this force. But if you have a small stone or a pebble and then you push it or you throw it, then you have exerted some energy, you have exerted some force on that pebble and it moved. Therefore, work was done. Or if you push a trolley, if you go to a supermarket and if you push a trolley, it moves some distance, right? You applied that force on the trolley and वो चलने लगा. वो जितना distance उसने cover किया आपके force की वजह से, then work is done. ठीक है? Or if you lift a book to a certain height. Now we've talked about only keeping a load on your head, that is not work. But अगर आपने वो उठाया जमीन से, then आपने gravity के against force use किया, right? And then that means that work was done. So these are the two conditions that need to be satisfied for work to be done scientific, according to the scientific concept of work. You need to apply a certain amount of force and the object must be displaced. Okay, so force needs to be applied and object must be displaced, and both conditions must be met for work to be done. Alright, for any kind of scientific work to be done, force needs to be applied and the distant object must be displaced through some distance. Even when for example, a bullock cart is work done, the bullock is the bulls are pulling, they are exerting a force and the cart is being displaced. That is called work is being done. Okay. Now we talk about work done by a constant force. Okay. So we talked about the two important things for work to be done. You have to exert a certain amount of force and the object needs to be displaced a certain distance. So let a force F act on an object. Now you see that F is acting on this object in this direction. Okay. The object is displaced through a distance S. Work done is W. Work done is force into the displacement caused by that force. Okay. This is the basic formula for work. Work done is equal to force into displacement. Okay. The work done on an object is equal to the magnitude of the force multiplied by the distance moved in the direction of the force. Right? This is definition. You can say that work done on an object is equal to the magnitude of the force multiplied by the distance moved in the direction of the force. Work has only magnitude, it has no direction. Work has no direction. You don't say that is direction में move किया, like velocity has some direction or displacement has a direction or even force has a direction, but work is only magnitude. Work is a scalar quantity. Okay. If force is equal to 1 Newton, distance is equal to 1 meter, then we say that the work done is 1 Newton meter. The unit of work is Newton meter or joule, right? Newton meter or joule. 1 joule or 1 Newton meter is the amount of work done on an object when a force of 1 Newton displaces it by 1 meter along the line of force, right? अगर force इस direction में जा रहा है तो वो force, if it is 1 Newton, 1 Newton के force ने उसको 1 मीटर हिलाया तो उसके ऊपर 1 जूल का force 1 जूल का work हुआ. Okay, so if the force acted on an object is zero, even if it moves, work done is zero. There are two things that you have to consider. Even if the object is moving, it force needs to be acted on it. So force needs to be acted on that object, and there has to be some displacement on that object. Okay, so that is if one of them is not done, if you're giving force but it is not moving, like in the case of that big rock, even then work is not done. Or if it's moving some distance but some force is not acting on it, that means that work is not done. Okay, again, like I told you, both force and distance have to be there because it is directly proportional to both of them, right? So either displacement doesn't happen because of force, or there is no force even though there is displacement, which means in either case work done is zero. Okay, please remember this. Both force is required and displacement needs to be done. So this is an example that is given in your book. A force of 5 Newton is acting on an object. Force 5 Newton. The object is displaced through 2 meter in the direction of the force. Object is displaced through 2 meter in the direction of the force. If the force acts on an object all through the displacement, then the work done is Fs, which is 5 Newton into 2 meter is equal to 10 Newton meter or 10 joule. Right? Simple. There is an example that is again given in your book. A force of 7 Newton acts on an object. 7 Newton. The displacement is say 8 meter, right? In the direction of the force. Let us take it that the force acts on an object through the displacement, which means all throughout the 8 meter of movement there was the same force that was acting on this object. Therefore, what is the work done on this case? What is the work done? W is equal to Fs 7 into 8, 56 joule or 56 Newton meter. Okay, you can use either of these units SI, but joule is the unit that is generally accepted. But if you don't remember it, you can just write Newton meter also instead of leaving it blank. But you have to remember it is joule. Okay. So when force is applied, displacement of the object is in the same direction, work is considered positive. Now we have talked about work being a scalar quantity. It does not have a direction. Okay, but like force, if force and displacement are in the same direction, work is positive. Here both of these things have direction, therefore we are talking about direction. But other than that, work doesn't have a direction. Work is positive or negative work. Okay. When force applied and displacement are in different directions, work is considered negative. Now we will look at the examples of both of these. Okay. So positive work तो आपको पता है, if you push something, आपके सामने ऐसे कुछ push कर रहे हो या फिर आप कुछ pull कर रहे हो, then you are putting a force in the same direction as that of displacement. आपको जिस direction में उसको move करना है, आप उसी direction में उसको you are either pulling it or pushing it, right? So what is an example of negative work? In any case, negative work can always be considered. Retardation आपने पढ़ा है, retardation नहीं, negative acceleration पढ़ा है आपने, right? If an object is moving with a uniform velocity in a particular direction and a retarding force is applied in against the direction of the motion. The direction of displacement is in the direction of motion, but force is applied is in the opposite direction. So angle between the two is 180 degree. What happens is this is moving like this. कार या कुछ बस है, it is moving in this direction, and then you apply a brake. The brake, what does the brake do? It applies force in this direction. So it applies force in this direction, but the movement is still in this direction. Displacement has always velocity is in this direction, displacement is also in this direction, okay, but force applied is here. When both of these are at in the opposite directions, then the work done is negative, because you are applying the force in this. इस फोर्स का जो इफेक्ट है वो इट इज इन द रिटार्डेशन, इट इज इन द रिडक्शन ऑफ दिस वेलोसिटी, बट डिस्प्लेसमेंट इज स्टिल इन दिस डायरेक्शन ना. अनलेस आप इतना ब्रेक मारते हो, आप उसको रिवर्स गियर में डालोगे, तो शायद displacement and force will be in the same direction, right? But in this case you are applying the brakes, therefore the force is in this direction, but displacement is in this direction, okay. So that is a difference. That is what we mean by positive work, and that is what we mean by negative work. Remember, work doesn't have any direction. हम ये नहीं बोलेंगे कि work इस direction में हो रहा है या work इस direction में हो रहा है. That will be wrong. This is the case of negative and positive work. If you are accelerating this, and if both of them are in the same direction, acceleration कर रहे हो, आप उसको force दे रहे हो, they're in the same direction, then that is positive work. But if you are putting force in this direction and the displacement is in this direction, that means work done is negative, क्योंकि force के उल्टा displacement हो रहा है, okay. I think this is simple, especially after having done motion and force के chapters. I think this is easy for you. So work done by a force can either be positive or negative. We have seen this. When you lift an object up, work done by you is positive. Please remember, if you are talking about work done by us, मैंने अगर एक कोई मेरा मोबाइल है, मैंने उसको ऐसे उठाया, right? The work done by me is positive, right? Why is it positive? Because I applied force in the upward direction and the displacement was also in the upward direction. But work done by gravity is negative. कैसे? Because gravity के against में कर रही हूँ ये काम. So what happens is, gravity always acts in the downward direction, right? So gravity तो उसको force नीचे लगा रही है, but वो displace ऊपर हो रहा है. So it means that the work done by me is positive because I am applying an upward force, but gravity is applying a downward force. Displacement in this case is upward, so my work is positive, gravity's work is negative. Okay, simple. So these are some questions. When do we say work is done? We say work is done when a force is applied and the object moves in the direction of the force. Actually, you don't have to say that force is that the object moves in the direction of the force, because in either way work is done. Even if it doesn't move in the direction of the force, it is just negative work. When do we say work is done? When a force is applied and when the object moves a certain distance. Write an expression for work done when a force is acting on an object in the direction of displacement. Work is equal to force into displacement. Okay, this is the expression. Define 1 joule of work. 1 joule of work is the work done when a force of 1 Newton is acting on an object which displaces it by 1 meter. Okay. A pair of bullocks exerts a force of 140 Newton on a plow. Force is 140 Newton. The field being plowed is 15-meter long. How much work is done in plowing the length of the field? Now, basic simple hai, you have to do force into distance. So 140 into 15, right? Is equal to 2100 joule. This is the work done in plowing the length of the field. Okay. This is another example, again very simple. A porter lifts a luggage of 15 kg from the ground and puts it on his head 1.5 meter above the ground. Calculate the work done by him on the luggage. Again, mass, uh, here it says 15 grams. So you have not been given the force. You have not been given the force. But what have you been given? Mass. And you know gravity. Right? So F is equal to mg. We consider F is equal to mg. Therefore 15 into, here they have considered 10. So they have considered mass, force to be F is equal to 150 Newton, and distance is 1.5 meter. Therefore, calculate the work done by him on the luggage is 150 into 1.5, that is 225 joule. Okay, ठीक है? Now you remember this. उन्होंने kg में दिया हुआ है, and he says, so if you have not been given the force, but you have been given something that will help you calculate the force first, and then you can calculate the work done. Okay, force is equal to mg. Okay, चलो ये simple है, but this is something you needed to know because you can be asked this sort of question. So we'll come next to energy. Okay, we know that we require energy for all things. Even sleeping requires energy, like I said. Most of the energy on this planet is from the sun. Most of the energy on this planet is from the sun. Please remember this. Because you have fossil fuel, which is powering most of our vehicles right now. Energy used by the plants to photosynthesize is also solar. Energy used by the plants to photosynthesize gives us food, converts solar energy into chemical energy. So whatever we are eating, if you eat plant-based products, if you are eating, you're directly eating chemical energy from the solar energy. But if you are eating non-vegetarian food, then those animals had also eaten, at some or the other stage of life, they have eaten plants. So that energy, everything comes from the sun. So all the energy comes from the sun. Okay, most of the energy. There are of course other sources such as nuclear energy, but which is not dependent on the sun. There are other sources like wind and tidal energy are also indirectly dependent on the sun, because tidal energy, we spoke about tides being dependent on gravitation. You remember we talked about tides and gravitation, कि मून के इससे भी होता है, सन की ग्रेविटेशन से भी टाइड्स आते हैं. So they are indirectly dependent on the sun only, on the gravitational force. Wind कैसे होती है dependent? Uneven heating of the surfaces causes some sort of wind from high pressure to low pressure area, है ना, from a hotter area to a cooler area. So this is also indirectly dependent on the sun. There are other sources of energy such as nuclear energy or geothermal energy. Geothermal is from below the ground, that the heat energy from below the ground. These are not dependent on the sun directly or indirectly. Okay. So in science, energy has a definite meaning. ओके, हम खाना खाते हैं, हम बोलते हैं यार बहुत एनर्जी आ गई है, नाउ आई कैन गो एंड प्ले. Science has a definite meaning for energy, right? It has a specific definition. Energy is the capacity to do work. Energy is the capacity. Energy is the capacity to do what? To do work. काम करने की जो क्षमता होती है उसको एनर्जी कहते हैं. Capacity to do work is energy. Okay, this is the definition. An object which does work loses energy, and the object on which work is being done gains that energy. ठीक है, आपने उस rock पे you put some force on it. You were doing, did you do work? No. So there is no net transfer of energy. You just lost that energy idhar udhar, right? But this is in scientific term. I'm talking about scientific terms. But when you're pushing this pebble, when you're throwing this pebble somewhere, you are exerting a specific force on it and it moves a certain direction, this certain direction into this certain force is the work done, and this energy that you used to apply this force is the energy that now the pebble has. इसी एनर्जी के वजह से वो आगे it is flying, right? An object that possesses energy can exert a force on another object. Force देने के लिए energy चाहिए होती है. You know that we spoke about, first we spoke about acceleration, then we say that some force is required to give acceleration. Now we are seeing that some energy is needed to give that force to give that acceleration, right? So these are all interconnected. An object that possesses energy can exert a force on another object. This energy gets transferred from the former to the latter, right? This is not later, okay? This is latter. I hope you know the difference. English class nahi hai, so I will not tell you, but there is a former and a latter. Okay, what is former? This is former and this is latter. Anyway, the energy gets transferred from the former to the latter. So if an object that possesses energy is exerting a force on another object, the energy gets transferred from the person who is throwing that object to that object which is being thrown. Okay. The second object may move as it receives energy and it may do work, right? That object also may do work because it is moving at a certain displacement after a force was done on it, acted on it. The first object had capacity to do work, which translated into the second object doing work. ठीक है? First, यानी आपके पास energy है, that is why you are exerting a certain force on something. And therefore it is moving a certain distance and therefore it is doing a certain amount of work. Therefore your energy gets transferred into work done by the object. The energy possessed by an object is measured in terms of its capacity to do work. So unit of energy is the same as the unit of work. It makes things easier for you. You just have to remember that work and energy are both joule. Okay? But there is a slight difference in that energy is a you can use bigger unit for energy. I'll tell you of it. So unit of energy is the same as the unit of work, which is joule. SI unit of energy is joule. 1 joule is the energy required to do 1 joule of work. 1 joule of energy is required to do 1 joule of work. And what is 1 joule of work? It is required. It is the work done when 1 Newton of force is applied on an object which makes it move 1 meter. And a larger unit of energy may be used, which is kilojoule, which is 1000 joule. Kilo in all sense means 1000. So 1000 joules makes 1 kilojoule, and kilojoule is also quite often used to calculate energy because energy is generally calculated in these terms. Okay. So what have we learned? We are at the end of this part, right? I've kept these parts short so that you understand these concepts. You can see other videos again. You can see the other parts if you still have the energy to see these and to do more work. But if you don't, then you can just stop it here. Work is considered to be done if force is applied and the object is displaced. Remember, both these things are required to do work. So, both these things are required to do work. Okay. Work done on an object is defined as the magnitude of force multiplied by the distance moved by the object in the direction of the force. The unit of work is joule, where 1 joule is equal to 1 Newton into 1 meter. Work done on an object by a force would be 0 if the displacement of the object is 0. And if there is a displacement but there is no force, then work done is also 0. An object that has the capability or the capacity to do work is said to possess energy. Energy is dependent on the work, therefore it has the same unit as that of work, which is joule. Okay, or we can also calculate it in kilojoule, which is 1000 joule. Okay, so we are done for now. Please watch parts 2, 3 and 4. This is an easy enough chapter. It's not a very tough chapter, especially now that you know about force and motion and all, and gravitational force and all of these things. This will become easier for you. Okay, so watch parts 2, 3 and 4. We are going to talk about different forms of energy, conservation of energy, and finally we'll do some numericals. इसमें ज़्यादा numericals नहीं है इस chapter में at the end of your chapter, but we have talked about all the theoretical questions also. Okay, so for now I will bid you goodbye, and I hope that you watch the next parts. For until then, okay, please remember to like this video. If you like it, give us a thumbs up, share it with your friends, subscribe to our channel, and please press the bell icon so that you are notified every time we upload new videos. Okay, so for now, finally, bye.